Nothing is free.
So first of all, good afternoon. Let me begin by saying thank you. Thank you to each one of your chiefs of staff that reached out to me as I sat on the tarmac when you all decided to move this to the front of the meeting instead of the end where it was, because I was meeting with more than 50 large county sheriffs in Orlando about these very same problems. This is not germane to Fulton County. Harris County, I believe Mr. Alton Adams mentioned, they have 10,500 inmates. They have 1,200 inmates across the state line in Louisiana. So this is not germane just to us. Where we find ourselves is at a crossroad, the crossroad between the Constitution, execution, and education. So I am going to make sure that we answer a few of the questions that were asked correctly. Irwin County, 3 hours away. Gwinnett County is now using that facility for 400 inmates. The population on slide 16 needs to be adjusted. So where it says 500 at Cobb, we reduced the amount of monies there, going there 234 people. And so that's inaccurate. Plus, they have space where they too have said you can bring inmates, but you got to bring staff. The city of Atlanta routinely, and the chairman wrote to the mayor as well, quite simply, the criteria needs to be adjusted. Equally as important is their pace in which the cadence in which they operate. So we will send them 200 people to be cleared. They'll send us 40 back. Ultimately, we have units there, but again, to your point earlier, we have to staff that. I promised you months ago that we will certainly keep you updated as to our accomplishments, the partnerships we created. Last tranche of money was $25 million. On September 11th, we went live with the technology game-changing technology that will save lives. Ultimately, the delay is simply because we cannot move inmates, cannot move detainees out of these spaces to work and upgrade the unit itself. The tower staffing, which was something that was very important to all of us. Ultimately, we contracted for 75 individuals. Year to date, or since the contract was put in place, we have 41 individuals. 2 of those individuals have been arrested. Another one's access revoked. So they have the same issues because that's just where we are with respect to hiring in a correctional environment. Someone asked earlier about the new programs we put in place, and let me walk you through some of that. We've worked with our DA and our solicitor, and including the public defender's office, who somewhere along the line is suing me for something I hadn't done yet. So to that extent, we have 50 consent bonds from the DA's office that we have processed, another 29 in process today, but someone mentioned earlier, we have released over 220 people because we have said, here's the piece that needs to be clearly understood. While we run a facility, that's our job, but we've had to pull resources to create expertise in a fashion and in a form that says, why are these people still here? And so we look at the number of people, and we'll go through some of the slides, or some of the slide deck here shortly, so you'll see some of the accomplishments. We created an inmate advocacy unit. Well, what's that mean, Sheriff? That means I got to take a data entry clerk or a supervisor, stop her from what she's doing to process people in, and give us the facts of what's going on. And so ultimately, you talked about pre-arrest diversion, which I fully support. We found in that stack of individuals that we could release somebody that was waiting on pre-arrest diversion for 30 days, right? So let's go through this stack that each of you have, and I think you'll see the execution portion being just outstanding from the team's information.
Sheriff, what are
we
you
put
speaking
together.
from? This document that you
Yes,
passed
sir.
out?
In that document, each of you have this slide deck. And while we clarify this, someone mentioned visitation. Yes, sir. Someone mentioned yes, ma'am. Someone mentioned visitation. We don't do visitation now at the jail. We do video visitation since COVID to try and keep down all kind of airborne diseases, et cetera. So we don't do visitation now. Every facility that you will hear about here shortly has not only the ability to do video visitation, but even document signage for lawyers, et cetera, so that no one has to travel. Plus, we built in a package. If you got a grandmother that wants to go, we're going to take you. We built that in. So in that space, if you turn to the first page, talking about the jail population, look at what we've been able to do since 2021. We had a high, and that high of 3609 is actually, we found another number, it's 3673. As of today, it's 3398. And then you start, and you go across the center, you look at the number of people that in the main jail. But here's one of the things that each one of you, as you've taken a tour, has been astounded by, but I hope you now see, because of the works that are being put in place, the execution is being done on a daily basis. At a high in the last 2 years, we had 500, close to 600 people sleeping on bunks. Because we've improved our classification process, because we've improved our outsourcing, we got less than 300 people. As of this morning, 270 people sleeping on the floor. That's more than half of people that, again, trying to treat people more humane as we go along. If you go to the next page, it's important to understand that we don't have this mythological misdemeanor population. Right now, as of today, we got 146 people that are charged with misdemeanors. We've been working with our Solicitor General to see now if we can cut that in half and put some of these people out on ankle monitors, put them out on bans, whatever that may be, because many, to your point, many of the people that are charged with misdemeanors have been there longer than they would have been if they'd have been sentenced by a judge. So with that, I would ask your indulgence, and maybe you could ask the county attorney to rule to see, or to find legislation to say, I want to stop taking misdemeanors. If it's a nonviolent situation, I don't take them to your jail. If you got a jail, take them to your jail. East Point got a jail. Atlanta's got a jail. College Park uses East Points. City of South Fulton uses East Points. If you got a misdemeanor, take them there. Take them there. So I hadn't crossed that bridge yet, but again, an opportunity for you to see on this particular slide, we got 1,331 people without bond. So they're not going anywhere. Instead of languishing in jail, we're going to present to you a couple of opportunities where there's more space, a cleaner environment. The jail itself, several months ago, I brought in here 1,200 shanks in 5 different wheelbarrows that are being, the weapons are being fashioned by the building. And so when we put together this bridging plan, which didn't pass last time, I got to give Mr. Davis and his team some credit. In order to repair and fix over 1,000 doors that have been ripped from the walls, not locks jammed, we got to have the opportunity to get it done. And so we have a bridging plan that we put together with EMSI and Mr. Davis and his team. But while we're doing all of that, we got 4 or 5 elevators and only one of them working. Right? So we continue to meet challenges with respect to the building itself. But ultimately, we have a location. And I got it. No one wants to go to Mississippi. I don't even want to go to Mississippi. Got it? But I went because I saw a facility that there's an opportunity for us to, instead of people languishing in jail. But let's bring it back home. We have a facility in South Georgia. It's not 3 hours away like Irwin County, but it is 4 hours away. And there's an opportunity there. So you all will be able to see that as we continue to go on. If you go to the next slide, that looks like a bunch of octagon stop signs. This inmate advocacy unit that we put together has had an opportunity to review over 6,000 cases. And that's important. When you look at how many misdemeanor releases we've been able to effect. The first week we opened up the inmate advocacy unit, we found 187 people that we were able to address. We got 78 of those people out of jail. But by the weekend, to Commissioner Khadijah's point, by the weekend, there were another 90 people arrested. And so crime is not going to stop. We come to that realization. The other thing you have to keep in mind that we wanted to focus on, which is systematically, the system is broken. Many of you said that. I know many of you agree in that point. We just had an individual go to court 2 weeks ago that has been in our facility for 10 years, right? Now, he's charged with murder, don't get me wrong, in our facility for 10 years. But we're stuck in the middle. And so I want to make sure that you see on that slide, there are 26 people in our facility that's been there 5 years or longer. But the sheriff's office doesn't have anything to do with that. So as we go about execution, if you go to the next page, you talk about inmate advocacy. When we were able to analyze, again, pulling people from other resources, other jobs, analyze the exact population. You see this court production order? We had nearly 250 people sitting in jail that judges were saying, bring them from the state. We're going to try them eventually. And we just took the stance that quite simply, tell you what, if you're not going to try them in 2 weeks, we're going to take them back to prison where they belong. And so now we got 37 people in jail as opposed to 236 people. And then I want to clarify something. Each of you all have a memo that is addressed. The regard line is wrong. It's typed on an old memo format. So the body and the context is about the facilities that we will talk about here shortly. And I also want to be genuine about the numbers Vice Chair presented. Our budget's not $187 or $83 million. We also moved $43 million worth of health care out from an anecdotal fund. I don't know the proper one, CFO. I don't know the proper name for it. A contingency fund back into the sheriff's office where it belonged. So the inflation in and of itself needs to be articulated when we come through with these numbers. Now, I'm going to turn this over to our general counsel, but before I do, if you'll indulge me, because I don't do anything small, I can come and tell you about the conditions. You can come and see them. But more often than not, you don't get an impact until you hear one of your constituents tell you about the facility. So if you give me just a second, I got a detainee that wants to talk to you all. We couldn't make it for public comment for security reasons. But ultimately, I got a representative that wants to, at least, if you'll indulge it, give you an idea. Like somebody said, spend the night in the jail, right? Let's let somebody with some passion come talk to them. Introduce yourself right here.
Good afternoon. My name is Kenneth Perry, Jr., and I've been at the Fulton County Jail for about 16 months. Off rip, the jail itself is deteriorating. The walls are crumbling down, and inmates are creating shanks out of the walls. So you can go inside of the wall and get you a knife. You can go inside of your light and fix yourself up something and stab somebody next to you, just because they have nothing else to do. More importantly, we as inmates, we have to then start defending ourselves. If people are going to start stabbing us because there are people that don't care there, and that's just on them, but when people are put in jail for a period of time to where we're just supposed to be there to sit and wait to get to court, or wait for a bond, or wait to get there, we shouldn't have to be subject to being stabbed or having instruments pulled on us. And then you have mold everywhere in the jail. I've been there for 16 months, and luckily I'm in a different facility now, but it's a lot of people that are in the jail due to overcapacity, and we're putting more and more people inside of the jail, but not creating solutions to where we're cleaning up the jail or we're replacing the broken things that are there. It doesn't work. And for me, I'm lucky, but I also had 4 knives pulled on me at once. I had knives put to my throat, and I had to call my mom telling them, please wire somebody some money or I'm going to be killed. Nobody should be subject to that at a jail where you're supposed to be waiting to get your day in court. And that just does not work for the inmates at Fulton County Jail.
All right, so that said, I thought it important that you hear. You're not going to hear from everybody, and everybody has a story, right? As my pastor would say, Pastor Paula would say, everybody's got a testimony, right? It's important that you understand that these facilities, in and of themselves, right? Mississippi, South Georgia, which we went to see, have the space, have the programmatic opportunities to hopefully change lives. So the myth that we are just shipping people over somewhere else, it goes back to what Commissioner Arrington said, and quite simply, if we can't get you to your day in court, what are we doing? And so to that extent, I will let Ms. Joyner come up, give you some specifics around the facilities, what the options may be, and we hope that you will take this journey with us.